And the researcher's truth, there's so many people say, oh, somebody's done black magic on me. 99% of the time it was their own elementals. But they are the people who feel like black magic is being done to them, they're right, but they're the ones doing the black magic to themselves. So they're just simply affected by the emotions and thoughts that they have harbored and expressed in their lifetime. And since we're creating it, it makes us responsible for them. That's why they return to us. And elementals unerringly return to their sender. If they're good, they help us. If they're harmful, they hurt us. They really degrade us. So it depends on their nature, good and bad. Now, once fulfilled or de-energized, they return to the Akasha, the cosmic consciousness, where they record our actions in the Akashic records. Now, I just said something really important. They are the ones, the elementals, our elementals, are the ones that are recording our actions in the cosmic consciousness. They are the method, the means for the recording. As you know, once they are created, they can't be destroyed. They can only become inactive by either one, by fulfilling their purpose. Once they're fulfilled, then you forget about it. Or if we consciously de-energize them. And there's a way to do it, and we've expressed it many times. But the problem is, it's not knowing the way to do it, but are we ready to do it? Are we really ready to give up those desires that trouble us? Are we ready to get go of those disturbing thoughts? Because until we get an unconflicted decision to release those, they're not going anywhere. They just don't go quietly into the darkness until they're fulfilled. And the ones that can't be fulfilled in this lifetime, they become fixed ideas and really torture us or crush the personality they host on. We see other people that have these objects we desire, and we can't get them ourselves for the law of cause and effect, let's say. And we say, well, they have them, why can't I have them? And so we start to get tortured by these dangerous whys. So don't follow the whys down the rabbit hole, because you'll hear these whys. Well, why that? Why that? And these aren't burning question marks like Daskalo's talking about. These are the whys that take you down into a lower state. So unless you consciously disenergize your elementals, they will be fulfilled, if not in this lifetime, in a future lifetime. But it's going to be in a life, maybe it's in a lifetime where they're now going to be a hindrance for you. Daskalo's always said this. Our most ardent desires today will become our stumbling blocks in the future. So be careful, be conscious, be selective in what you wish for, because one day you're going to get it. Yeah.
What if our ardent desires are for self-realization?
That's fine. That works in the same way. Good, like I said, good or bad. They will be fulfilled one day, for sure. Unless you disenergize and say, no, I don't want to be self-realized. I want to be ignorant. Well, ignorance is bliss, right? Ignorance is bliss.
So can one be tortured by a desire for self-realization?
No, well, I suppose you could if you overdid it. You know, like, why aren't I self-realized? There are self-realized people. I guess you could turn it down. Yeah, you could have turned it to the negative.
Wouldn't it be like the attachment to it? If it's not happening fast enough, then you would have an attachment to that, and then you're upset about the outcome.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah.
And that creates other elementals,
Sure.
negative. Yeah.
And they go out and they come back and they form in a group. And they go out and they come back and form a larger group. And it just keeps growing like that.
That's why we have to be so conscious about every element, every thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Because even with the death of your material body, they don't become inactive. They'll follow you to the other side and they take form. I mean, they're not just elementals now. They're people, places, and things in your psychonoetical shell. But if your desire is about a material incarnation, you know, it's going to follow you back into another lifetime.
How do you de-energize them?
How to what?
De-energize them.
There's a 3-step process. First step is, and this is the hardest step, it takes the longest time, get an unconflicted decision to do it. A lot of times I want to do this good thing, and you do it, and I really want to do the opposite, and you go back and forth. It means you're not really in an unconflicted decision to remove this thing from you. And so people spend many long periods of time going back, energizing both sides of the pole, and nothing happens because you're you've kind of blocked it by that process. And the second step is, once you get an unconflicted decision to dis-energize it, you have to completely remove your attention from it. Like if it's a thought about desiring, I don't know, a Porsche or car or something, and you realize, oh, I don't need this fancy car, I don't need to spend this much, I'm going to dis-energize that desire. You have to pull your attention away from it. So when you have the desire starts to come up about the thought, you don't think it through. You just stop it. It's like you catch it and drop it. Catch it and drop it. Don't give any intention to it. Once you complete that step, then you can do the third step. And this is where most people fail. You have to replace that, because it's like a groove in a record in your etheric, let's say. And if you don't fill that in, it's just so easy for the needle to go back in that groove again. So
But replace it with what?
something positive, something life-affirming, something healthy. Yeah.
So there are some systems that say, in order to clear a thought form out of the field, if you have a suppressed feeling, you've got to bring it to the surface and feel it.
Yeah, that is the opposite of what we teach.
That would be the opposite of what you're talking about.
Right, because what these torturing feelings, where are they coming to us from?
The subconscious.
Exactly. So they've risen to the surface of the subconscious. So to analyze them, you're really bringing them up into the conscious, you're re-energizing them again, they're going to sink back in, come up the feet again.
So if we did that process, bring it to the surface, to really feel it, to think that's going to release it, we're actually recharging it, sending it back down to the bottom of the subconscious, where it'll come up again later for another recharge, correct?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.